Yes, Akhilesh of 9th A, what are the different types of a physical quantity?
Ma'am, there are two types of physical quantities. First is scalar quantity and second is vector.
Scalar and vector. There is one more basic classification also. Can you tell that? Yes, 9C, Gaurav, would you tell?
Yes, fundamental quantities and derived physical quantities.
Fundamental and derived quantities. Give examples of fundamental quantities.
Ma'am, length, mass, time.
Yes, mass, length, and time. These are three basic quantities. These are three fundamental quantities. And all other quantities, force, velocity, speed, acceleration, momentum, all other quantities are derived quantities, right? Then next,
Yes,
what is a unit? Who will tell me what is a unit? Yes, students, what's a unit? Tanveen,
A standard chosen for the measurement of physical quantity is known as a unit.
yes. Unit means a standard chosen for the measurement of physical quantity. For example, unit of distance is meter. From 9th A, who will tell me the unit of speed? You say you have done speed velocity, so you tell me the unit of speed now. 9th A, only Dhiren Mahajan has raised hand. What about the others? Divya, yes. 9th A, Divya.
Meter per second.
Yes, speed, its unit is meter per second. What's the unit of velocity?
It is meter per second.
Yes, speed
It is
and
also meter per
they have
second.
same units. And is it fundamental unit or derived unit? Is it fundamental or derived?
Ma'am, velocity is derived and speed is fundamental.
No, speed and velocity both are derived quantities. We told you that there are only three fundamental quantities, mass, length, and time. All other are derived quantities. So speed, velocity, all are derived quantities and their units are derived units. So meter per second is a derived unit, not a fundamental unit. All right. So up to here we did conversions also, how to convert one system of units into other. That you should also know. Okay. So students, one question you write for homework. Likhiye 9C, 9th A board. Write down a question that you will try today and we will discuss tomorrow, right? Likhiye, are there more microseconds? Are there more microseconds? All of you lower your hands. Are there more microseconds in a second than THN than? Are there more microseconds in a second? Yes, Gaurav, what do you want to ask? Divya, you want to ask something?
Ma'am,
So are there more microseconds in a second than the number of seconds in a year? Then the number of seconds in a year. Means this question has two parts. आपको एक पार्ट में चेक करना है कि 1 ईयर में कितने सेकंड्स होते हैं एंड इन द अदर पार्ट यू हैव टू चेक एक सेकंड में कितने माइक्रो सेकंड्स होते हैं. आपको मैंने जो टेबल बताया था उसमें माइक्रो की वैल्यू लिखी हुई थी, तो अब आप उसको कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो. ठीक है. सो आई विल बी डिस्कसिंग दिस क्वेश्चन टुमारो. So today we are going to start with the actual topics of the chapter now. First of all, what is our idea of an object at rest? When is an object said to be at rest? So write down your first question of today. When is an object said to be, SAID, said to be at rest? 9th A students must have done. Anyone who can tell the answer? When is an object said to be at rest. हम कब कहेंगे कि एक ऑब्जेक्ट रेस्ट पे पड़ी है, एक ऑब्जेक्ट स्टेशनरी है? Only 2 hands are raising again and again. What about others from 9th A? 9th A, any other student who can tell?
An object is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with respect to its surrounding.
Yes. And share the pics once again for them. So let's do examples of objects at rest. This is an object at rest, trees on the roadside. Another example, walls of a room are always at rest. So they are examples of stationary objects. Another example, stars in the night sky. Stars in the night sky can be taken to be objects at rest. ठीक है? All right, so stationary object or object at rest, and this type of graph is very simple that you can draw along with the definition and examples. Next question is, when is an object said to be in motion? अब हम कब कहते हैं कि ऑब्जेक्ट मूव करना शुरू हो गई? Obviously, when its position changes with time and with respect to surroundings also. So when the object is moving, that means its position is changing with time now. तो लिख लीजिए इसकी definition. An object is said to be in motion when its position changes with time. Okay, and we can draw this type of graph now. Position, time. So this type of graph, if the object is moving very uniformly, अगर बिल्कुल 1 आवर के बाद वो 10 मीटर कवर कर रही है, 2 आवर्स के बाद 20 मीटर कवर कर रही है, इक्वल टाइम गैप पे इक्वल डिस्टेंस कवर कर रही है, तब हम इस तरह से उसका ग्राफ बना सकते हैं. अदरवाइज इट मे बी एनी कर्व आल्सो, तो ये भी हो सकता है, ये भी हो सकता है, आप कोई भी बना लीजिए. So this would indicate object in motion always. This graph will indicate an object in motion. Okay, clear? Now what are the examples? A moving car, a running boy, any example you can mention that you see around moving. A running boy, a moving car, a flying kite. कोई भी चीज जो मूव कर रही है, you can add the example here. Yes, Ridhima?
Moving of a swing.
Yes, moving swing also. So you can write as many examples as you want. Okay, so these are the examples of moving objects. Now there is a question to think about. Are rest and motion relative terms? Comment on the statement. Write down this question. Are rest and motion relative? Comment on the statement. This means, relative means, if an object is at rest to one person, will the same object appear to be in motion to some other person at the same time? Is it possible? Yes, Prabjot Singh.
Yes, ma'am, it can be possible.
Can you give an example?
Ma'am, as we travel in the bus, we find trees moving, sitting in the bus, and the people who are standing outside on the road, they find the passengers in the bus moving, while we find the passengers still.
Yes, very good. So trees and moving bus or moving train can be taken as an example. The passengers in the train, when they look outside, the trees appear to be moving. But actually the trees, if a person is standing on the roadside, will be stationary to him. Actually तो वो stationary ही है, वो rest पे ही है, पर वो एक moving person को moving लगेंगे in the opposite direction. So this is the concept of relativity. Relative का मतलब क्या होता है कि अगर एक place पे हमें एक object rest पे लग रही है, तो दूसरे place पे वही चीज motion में लग रही हो सकती है. Another example is, suppose we are traveling in a train. To us, other passengers are at rest. वो हमारे साथ बैठे हुए हैं, तो बाकी passengers हमारे साथ rest पे हैं. But if a person is standing outside, उसके लिए हम लोग motion में हैं, क्योंकि train move कर रही है, उसके लिए हम भी move कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो आप दोनों एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो, ट्रेन एंड ट्रीज का, बस एंड ट्रीज का, और ट्रेन के पैसेंजर्स और रोड का. सो रोड से वो पैसेंजर मोशन में होगा, रोड से अगर देखा जाए, बट टू वन पैसेंजर अनदर पैसेंजर विल बी एट रेस्ट, हमारे लिए वो बैठे हुए, ठीक है. सो दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ relativity. So yes, rest and motion are relative terms. If one object is at rest to one person, it will appear to be in motion to some other person, looking from some other place. Okay, then you will add one example. Suppose we are sitting in a moving bus, and when we look at the trees, they appear to be moving, but actually they are at rest. So this example you can add here. All right, now next is, I told you two different types of physical quantities, fundamental and derived. Now we are going to do one more classification of fundamental, one more classification of physical quantities, which is scalar and vector quantities. So let us do scalar and vector quantities, but before that, you need to know what is a point object. Yes, anyone who knows what is a point object, does it mean that the object is of the size of a point? इतनी छोटी ऑब्जेक्ट देखी है क्या हमने कभी? एक एरोप्लेन इतना बड़ा होता है, क्या हम उसको पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट बोल सकते हैं कभी? यस, एनीवन? व्हाट इज योर आइडिया ऑफ अ पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट? आई शो यू अ पिक्चर. Yes, this is an aeroplane. Okay, this is an aeroplane, and you can see there are people also standing on the around the airport, and their size is very small in comparison to this aeroplane. So no ways we can say that this aeroplane is a point object. But if I show you another picture, this one, here this aeroplane is appearing to be so small. यहाँ पे हमें वही एरोप्लेन जब वो एयर में चला जाता है तब इतना छोटा सा लग रहा है, पॉइंट जितना लग रहा है, तो हम इस टाइम पे इसको पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट कह सकते हैं. ठीक है, वी कैन कॉल दिस एरोप्लेन अ पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट नाउ. सो दैट मीन्स बहुत बड़ी ऑब्जेक्ट को भी हम पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट बोल सकते हैं. देयर इज वन कंडीशन फॉर दैट, इफ द डिस्टेंस कवर्ड बाय दैट ऑब्जेक्ट इज very large in comparison to its size, then so an object will be called a point object if it covers very large distance in comparison to its size. So write down the question, what is meant by a point object, and write down the answer now. An object that covers, that travels a very large distance, an object that covers a very large distance in comparison to its size, in comparison to its size, is called a point object, is called a point object. Example you can write as I showed you, an aeroplane flying from Delhi to Washington, उसको हम point object बोल सकते हैं. For example, an aeroplane flying from Delhi to Washington. Stars, stars in the sky, वो छोटे छोटे दिखते हैं हमें, हम उनको point object बोल सकते हैं. Yes, Ridhima. Another example you have? Okay, so stars लिख सकते हो आप ऐसे.
बोला आपने?
Yes.
मैम आपने दिल्ली टू वॉशिंगटन क्यों बोला, इतना लंबा डिस्टेंस क्यों दिया था?
मैंने इसीलिए लंबा दिया ताकि ये क्लियर हो जाए कि इट इज कवरिंग रियली अ वेरी लार्ज डिस्टेंस इन कंपैरिजन विद साइज, तभी हम उसको पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट बोल सकते हैं. ठीक है, दिस इज जस्ट एन एग्जांपल. सो एन एरोप्लेन फ्लाइंग फ्रॉम दिल्ली टू वॉशिंगटन, दिस इज जस्ट एन एग्जांपल. इसमें ऑब्वियस है कि एरोप्लेन बहुत दूर है और अपने साइज के अकॉर्डिंग इट्स कवरिंग वेरी वेरी लार्ज डिस्टेंस. ओके, सन इज ऑल्सो एक्टिंग लाइक अ पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट. वैसे भी मैंने स्टार्स बोल दिया तो सन इज ऑल्सो अ स्टार. ठीक है, सो सन इज ऑल्सो अ पॉइंट ऑब्जेक्ट बिकॉज इट्स क्वाइट फार अवे फ्रॉम अस, इट्स क्वाइट फार अवे फ्रॉम अर्थ. ओके, So this was a point object. So now the classification of a physical quantity. There are two more types of a physical quantity: scalar quantity and vector quantity. So I'll ask this from 9th A. What are scalar quantities? Scalar spellings. Please check your spellings. Scalar quantities and vector quantities. Okay. Yes, Arzu. What is a scalar quantity?
Scalar quantity is a type of a physical quantity which do not possess any particular direction.
Yes. So we can say, what is a physical quantity, scalar quantity? It's a quantity that needs only magnitude to define it. It has only value, not direction. तो स्केलर क्वांटिटीज वो हैं जिनकी सिर्फ वैल्यू होती है, जिनका सिर्फ मैग्नीट्यूड होता है, मैग्नीट्यूड अंडरस्टैंड, वैल्यू, पर उनकी डायरेक्शन नहीं होती. सो राइट डाउन द डेफिनेशन ऑफ स्केलर क्वांटिटी. द फिजिकल क्वांटिटीज that have only magnitude, not direction, that have only magnitude not direction, they are called scalar quantities. जैसे कि अब मैंने टाइम पूछा, आप पूछ रहे हो कितना टाइम रह गया इस पीरियड को ओवर होने में, तो आप बोलोगे कि 15 मिनट्स. आप ये थोड़ी ना बोलोगे कि ईस्ट में 15 मिनट हुए हैं, वेस्ट में 20 मिनट हुए हैं, नॉर्थ में 17 मिनट्स हुए हैं, साउथ में 18 मिनट्स हुए हैं, ऐसे तो नहीं बोलते आप. तो टाइम को बताने के लिए आपको सिर्फ वैल्यू की जरूरत है कि कितना टाइम हुआ है, हमें उसके लिए डायरेक्शन की जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है, हमें उसके लिए डायरेक्शन की जरूरत नहीं है, राइट. बट जब आपने कोई डिस्प्लेसमेंट देखनी है तो आपको ये जरूर पता होना चाहिए कि हम कौन सी डायरेक्शन में ट्रेवल कर रहे हैं. वहां पे डायरेक्शन का नेट डिस्टेंस हमने कितना ट्रेवल किया. अगर हम ए से बी पॉइंट, बी से सी पॉइंट पर जा रहे हैं, नेट हमने किस डायरेक्शन में ट्रेवल किया, दैट्स वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू फाइंड आउट फॉर अस कि अर्थ इज पुलिंग अस इन विच डायरेक्शन. व्हाई डज अ चॉक ऑलवेज falling in the downward direction? Why it doesn't go in the upward direction? एक चौक जब मैं गिरा रही हूँ तो अब ऊपर क्यों नहीं जाता, नीचे क्यों जा रहा है? Because earth is exerting a force on this chalk in the downward direction always. So here it's very important to mention the direction. So force can't be a scalar quantity. Force को बताने के लिए we are needing direction also. ठीक है, टाइम के लिए हमें जरूरत नहीं पड़ी, फोर्स के लिए पड़ रही है. So force can't be a scalar, but time is a scalar quantity. Same way, I am writing other examples of scalar quantities also right now. Examples are distance, mass, time, work, area, volume, energy, density, etc. power. ठीक है, आप इनके एग्जाम्पल लिख सकते हो एज स्केलर क्वांटिटी. ठीक है, यू कैन मेंशन दीज स्केलर क्वांटिटी. डिस्टेंस, मास, टाइम, वर्क, एरिया, वॉल्यूम, एनर्जी, डेंसिटी, पावर. दीज आर ऑल स्केलर क्वांटिटीज. इसमें हमें डायरेक्शन की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती. यस जानवी.
Ma'am, please repeat the definition of scalar quantities.
Okay. So scalar quantities are the quantities that have only magnitude. Magnitude means value, not direction. That have only magnitude, not direction. इनकी कोई direction नहीं होती, सिर्फ value होती है. And we denote them by writing a just symbol. For example, time we denote by T. Mass we denote by M only. So this is their symbolic presentation. Work को हम W लिख देते हैं, area को हम A लिख देते हैं. तो simple presentation होती है Now we come to vector quantities. On the other hand, vector quantities are those quantities that have both magnitude as well as direction. इनकी वैल्यू भी होती है और डायरेक्शन भी होती है, जैसे मैंने आपको फोर्स के बारे में बताया. So write down the definition of vector quantities. These are the quantities that have both magnitude and direction. These are the quantities that have both magnitude and direction. तो लिख लीजिए एग्जाम्पल फोर्स, और जो मैंने छोड़ दी इन बिटवीन जो वेक्टर्स हैं, लेटर ऑन वी विल डू इन डिटेल. डिस्प्लेसमेंट, वेलोसिटी, एक्सेलरेशन, मोमेंटम, etc. So these are vector quantities: force, displacement, velocity, acceleration, momentum. You don't worry, displacement, velocity, acceleration, when we will do in detail now, it will be clear to you why they are vector quantities. And how we denote them? अब जैसे force को denote करना है, so I'll write vector F. मैं F सिंबल लिख के उसके ऊपर एक छोटा सा वेक्टर डाल दूंगी. ठीक है, मैं F लिख के उसके ऊपर छोटा सा वेक्टर डाल दूंगी. This will become the symbol for force. So always we denote a vector quantity by putting an arrow over the symbol. ठीक है, by putting an arrow over the symbol. So vector quantities को indicate करने के लिए symbol के ऊपर छोटा सा वेक्टर डाल देते हैं. This is how we represent a vector quantity. So after vector and scalar quantities, we come to first pair of comparison, distance and displacement. So let us now do what is distance and what is displacement. How are they different from each other? चलिए 9th A का कोई बच्चा मुझे बताएगा define distance. Yes. Distance. Okay. Yes, Sumati. Sumati.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, turn on your video and then speak what is distance.
Good morning, ma'am. The actual length of path traveled by an object is called distance.
Yes, very good. So length of actual path traveled by an object, that is called distance. लिखिए definition. 9C write down. The length of actual path, PATH path. The length of actual path covered by an object, या traveled by an object, that is called distance. I give you one example. Suppose a man starts from a point A. He covers 3 kilometers due east direction. वो east की तरफ आपको directions पता है ना? This is east, west, north and south. So he covers 3 kilometers due east and reaches point B. Then he covers 4 kilometers due north and reaches point C. Our question is, how much distance is covered by him? So we will count the length of actual path covered by him. Actually, he went to B point, then he went to C point. So the length of actual path covered by him is 3 plus 4, that is 7 kilometers. This will be the distance covered. So distance covered is AB plus BC here, that is 3 plus 4, 7 kilometers. This much is distance covered. And we saw कि इसके लिए हमें कोई डायरेक्शन बताने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ी when we are telling the answer. हमने सिर्फ इसकी वैल्यू बताई है कि 7 किलोमीटर. हमें डायरेक्शन बताने की जरूरत नहीं है क्योंकि दो डायरेक्शन भी हो सकता है, उससे भी ज्यादा हो, तो हम एक पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्शन नहीं बता सकते. So that's why it's a scalar quantity. So distance is a scalar quantity. So have you written the definition? The length of actual path covered by an object, that is called distance. and it's a scalar quantity. This is the example. But if in the same example, we want to cover displacement, we define displacement as shortest distance traveled by a body between initial and final position.